Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Kind of a slow news day out here, which is all right. We're all taking Friday off, mailing it in at our corporate jobs, or if you're a stay-at-home parent, you're mailing it in with your kids. It's like when you had a substitute teacher and they'd wheel in the old TV. You're like, yes, we're watching a movie today. Put your head down or shut up. That means the teacher's hungover, or maybe you're hungover, had a little bit too much of the rum and eggnog last night. That's okay. Be hungover. That's fine. Let's get into this video. I didn't mean to leave my voicemail up there. All right, so we have Martin. He's on the podcast with one Dr. Brian Abasolo. Some people don't want to call him a doctor, but he is a doctor of chiropractic, as we say. You know my joke, chiropractors are usually anti-vax. Why should they trust medicine when medicine doesn't trust them, right, folks? All right, love a good adjustment, if you will. And then Mike Johnson, the Bachelor that never was. That's the most commented guy. Why isn't Mike Johnson Bachelor? We just don't know. We don't know. So we'll get into this video. I'll play what Martin has to say in your disgruntled comments right after that. But don't forget, we are only 800 subscribers away from lapping Nick, or I should say passing Nick, in the YouTube subscriber count. So I know Nick's not even privy of being in this competition, but here we are. I think we'll get to him within the week, but who knows if this video takes off maybe sooner than that. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Double check. Sometimes people think they're subscribed and they're really not. If you want to join us tonight, this is Friday night, I've got a gingerbread house building live stream I'm going to be doing on my vlog channel, where I'm doing all my Christmas themed vlogs. I'm spending way too much time obsessing over Christmas themed products like this here peppermint mocha iced coffee with coconut milk and whipped cream. Oh baby, boy, nothing like an IV to the soul. That's what that is. And you can join me. I'll be making my gingerbread house right here. It's an easy build. You can't really see because of the green screen. It's an easy build, which totally means that I'm going to be, it's one of those like gingerbread by numbers, if you will. All right, so let's get into this. That'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. We'll be going for maybe an hour and a half, play some Christmas music. You can either build your own gingerbread house or just smoke a doob, hang out with us, do whatever you need to do. All right, let's play this. Here's Martin explaining his high maintenance remark and why he said it was taken out of context. Just a reminder, he's on Michelle Young's season The Bachelorette, or was. And he was like, Michelle, you're not like other women. Because in Miami, women are X, Y, and Z, but you're not like them. And she's like, tell me more about these other women. Complete red flag. So let's have a listen.
In the conversation where I talk about the whole height maintenance thing, I was trying to give her a compliment by explaining to her that that's the reason why I was there, because she is the opposite of height maintenance, right? I feel like that word triggered her, and she was trying to stand up for women in general, and I commend her for that. But at the same time, she kept asking me over and over again. And after, we kind of hashed it out, she understood what I was trying to say. But I was also trying to say that relationships should very much be 50-50 in every aspect, right? Because if not, it takes away from the power of women. And another thing is, it's also like a cultural difference, right? I feel like most of the viewers are also not in Miami, or probably they've never been in Miami. And most of the women that messaged me from Miami were either joking and saying, hey, I'm not high maintenance, how's it going? Or, hey, I understood exactly what you were trying to say because I actually live here and I understand what you were trying to say. So I've, amidst all of like the hate and the thousands of messages that I got from people calling me an asshole or whatever you want to call it, a lot of people were actually like, hey, I understood what you were trying to say. It seemed like Michelle wasn't taking her time to understand if there was a little bit of miscommunication. She didn't take her time to ask, wait, what did you mean by that? As opposed to saying, what do you mean by high maintenance, and just trying to, come at me and try and obviously remember, you have cameras. It's like, you don't know how to respond. Sometimes I should have taken a deep breath and been like, let me take a step back and let's talk about this a little bit differently and not continue to kind of like dig myself in a hole.
Martin, did you try to see it from Michelle's eyes and Michelle's viewpoint? Or were you just trying to like get your thoughts across?
In the moment, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like in the moment, that's what I'm saying. I should have taken a step back and tried to read the situation a little bit better and understand, okay, why are you upset? Right? If she wasn't able to do that, if she wasn't able to take a step back and say, wait, what did you actually mean by that? Or were you trying to call me high maintenance or whatever? But like I said, after it did work out that way, because we did finish off the conversation on a good note, because, clearly that day I do get a rose, right? So I stay for the next group date and stuff.
So Martin, I was going to ask you about that as far as cultural, where are you from? Like, where's your family from?
I'm originally from Argentina. I was born there, and I moved to Miami when I was 9.
I wanted to ask you that because, like,
Argentina.
you said my love to Michelle, and a lot of women out there were like, oh, did this guy just say my love? Like, I saw a lot of backlash that you were getting when it comes to that, but I also understand it could be like a cultural thing because mi amor, like that's said a lot, you know, from Latin
I say
men.
that a lot in Spanish. Yeah.
Correct. So, and, you know, maybe it can sound condescending because, Mike, what did I tell you about the whole situation with my mom?
No, absolutely.
My mom on my season said, te mato. You know, if you say te mato versus I'll kill you, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. So when you're Hispanic and Latino, like, it's just it has a different vibe. Let's just say that.
A different vibe. All right, so a lot to unpack here. We'll read some of your comments. My thought initially with Martin, by the way, what's up with the eyebrows? I can't tell if that's how his eyebrows are naturally shaped or if he lost a fight to a weed whacker. I can't tell. Is that supposed to be that way? I kind of like it. I just don't know if it's one of those things. Anyway, I'm not shaming your eyebrows, bro. Good eyebrow game. Here's the thing with Martin, right? He's so good looking that he's a really good looking guy, right? I feel like he's so good looking that he's not used to women cross-examining what he says. It's almost like women are just so like, and I'm not judging the women here. He's got so many abs. I feel like for every red flag you wave, one ab offsets that. So he's got a big 6-pack abs. He's got 6 red flags. It's a net neutral here. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just saying it's funny that you can go your whole life. He's an adult male here. And really, and I'm not saying he's never been cross-examined, but like if he's never been sort of famous before, right? So he might be out at the bars in Miami saying his thing, sweet talking me and more, doing his thing. And then all of a sudden he's on a TV show and Michelle's like, huh? And everyone in the comment section's like, huh? And he's like, oh, no, wait. And then obviously, because Michelle's a teacher. She's good at cross-examining. So she's like, tell me what you meant by that comment. Which, by the way, is the great thing to do in any argument with your significant other. What do you mean when you say X, Y, and Z? So if someone calls you a name or even says, like, you're not telling me, what did you mean when you said that? Like, really let them explain themselves. And in some cases, they're going to just keep digging themselves into a hole. Because Mark goes, look, you're not like Miami women, like these trap artists or whatever. Is that even a term? I don't know. These women over there. I've got an article from a guy that says why dating in Miami. It's called Why Dating in Miami is Different Than Everywhere Else in the Country. And it is wild what was written in this article. The article's only 4 years old, and I feel like it hasn't aged well. So Martin, it's one of those circumstances where you can see that somebody looks like they mean well, but you're kind of exposing some of the things they said. And I think the comment section says it best here. Any guy that uses the word high maintenance to describe females is red flag, red flag, red flag. And it wasn't just about this one remark. It's about multiple comments he's made coming off as someone who doesn't actually listen to women at all. Compared to the other men, Martin just stood out as the one that's more likely to belittle women, especially noted by his comments about how immature Michelle was for carrying her experience around with her. Yeah, he was like, oh, maybe Michelle was triggered by my comments. It's like, well, why? Let's unpack why someone might be triggered by something you said. I'm honestly disappointed that you didn't hold him accountable for anything. He's clearly not remorseful about what he said. This is why I have a hard time with like interviews and stuff, because it's like, is their job to hold him accountable or give him the platform to explain his thinking? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I don't have the answer to that. Is their job to really hold him accountable, or say, what did you mean by that? And let him completely explain himself, and then you can still disagree with him. I don't know. But even if Mike and Brian gave Martin a platform, I still don't trust him at all. Gross, I can't believe he is still out here justifying his behavior and words. No point in listening to his explanation. He will never acknowledge he did anything wrong. So I think he could have worded things very differently. I've never been to Miami. I don't know if I would say that every city in the United States has its own cultural identity that might be different from other cities. In Nashville, you're going to get bachelorette parties 24/7. That's where people love to go for bachelorette parties. It's one of the bachelorette capitals of the world. It doesn't mean that Nashville women are a certain way. No, it means bachelorette parties go there. Done. Vegas, What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless you're, going to take something home with you, venereally speaking. But the point is that every city's got a different kind of vibe to it. Miami's a club town. It's a Latin town. It's a different town than maybe Boise. Boise, you probably go to bed a little earlier at night, just imagining. My hometown has a curfew at 1 a.m. The clubs stop serving you at 12:30 a.m. That's just how it works. New York City, you can be up all nights, you can be up till 4 a.m., go to the diner afterwards, late night clubs, just different vibes. Obviously, when Martin says Miami women are different, they're high maintenance, that's hard. That's hard for someone like Michelle, especially because she's on TV. She understands that maybe in a normal conversation, if someone says that, you let it go because you're like, oh my gosh, what an ignorant thing to say. But on TV, she's like, no, keep on explaining yourself, because women are in a union, okay? They are in a union. They do have to stick up for each other. If the roles are reversed, I don't expect it to go the same way, because women are objectified, men aren't, to the levels that we're talking. Now, don't get all soft in the comment section and be like, well, men have problems too. Of course, there's a spectrum for everything. But my point is that women are the ones getting catcalled. Women are the ones that are pitted against each other on reality shows more so than men, that are pitted against each other in different ways. So for him to make these comments, high maintenance, Michelle's clearly like, tell me more about this, Martin. Tell me more about why they're high maintenance. I can't imagine that, now just because I'm some humble person from the Midwest, I'm not, am I easier? What are you trying to say by, those types of things? If the roles were reversed and say I was on The Bachelor and some female contestant was like, oh, you're not like all the guys from New York City. You're not as high maintenance as the guys from New York City. I'd be like, good, F those guys, whatever, you know what I mean? Because every guy's for themselves, and that's kind of how it works. Whenever you generalize, you're risking getting in trouble. But I hope you understand that I am purely seeing this scenario from the point that men don't need to, and forgive me while I kind of think this out loud, men don't need to stand by each other because we're not targeted in ways that women can be. Does that make sense? So I feel like maybe it's hard for Martin to empathize with women here, obviously, because he doesn't walk in their shoes. It doesn't make it right. It just means he's flying blind here. And everyone who's watching the show, which is probably 93% women, my demographics are about 93% women on my channel. Everyone who's watching the show is going, are you kidding me? What makes them high maintenance? People need to stop using cultural differences to make excuses for the behavior. Putting blame onto others and bashing someone negatively isn't a cultural thing. It's a you thing. The way he continues to victimize himself for being misunderstood and taken out of context, ew. Romeo said it best. This is misogyny at its worst, and I wish he was held accountable for his words instead of having it be skated over. If she wasn't able to take a step back and see my perspective, the audacity, they say. So I'm just going to fly through this article because, again, this is pretty wildly offensive in some parts. Why dating in Miami is different than everywhere else in the country. I think part of this is satirical. I can't imagine, but who knows? Your date might just be into you for paperwork. Their Instagram will drive you crazy. When you say someone's bi, they mean lingual. You'll rarely get to wear heels. A car is perfectly acceptable replacement for a personality, as are breast implants. I'm sorry, I just realized you weren't reading this. Your date may share a bedroom wall with his grandma. There's a decent chance at some point your date did porn. I feel like this guy's just describing one of his exes. He's like getting really specific. Guys are either insanely rich or dirt poor. You may get dumped in favor of a reality show. But if I don't get a rose past round two, we can totally still hang out. Your best dates will be with people who are leaving on Sunday. You will still get the third degree from your date's father well into your 30s. You may find your date's picture on an escort website. Going to a strip club is a perfectly acceptable date. You never really know what your date does for work. Everyone's looking for the next best thing. When you finally find that one perfect person, they will move. Yeah, this sounds like this person was scorned, but I wanted to throw this in there because, I was Googling, like, are there articles about how the culture is different in Miami? Now, clearly, when he says Miami, I think he means a party scene. I think you could go to any major city and find a party scene where people that go partying might be different than other people. I just don't think he really prosecuted his point correctly. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys are going to stick around later on tonight for the vlog Gingerbread House. I'm literally just going to play Christmas music and set a wide camera up and work on building my gingerbread house. That's all I'm going to be doing. So let me know if you guys want to be a part of that. Really appreciate you. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. If there's any breaking news, I will be here to cover it, but it's a slow news day when I'm trying to pick apart what Martin's saying. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.